everyone, your girl is here. So coming to you guys today now, we're going to read another chapter. Very, very fun and exciting. After dinner, I did watch another of that something girl, Gato girl or something. Anyhow, I watched her and I had to like the video as soon as she started it because she's like the video if you've ever had a parasocial photo sent to you. And I was like, yeah, I have, guys. So I went ahead and liked that, and then I watched, a girl, knowing stuff, was able to put a serial killer behind bars. So she was abducted, and a guy actually was behind her. He felt guilty, from just everything that he didn't do, but he felt okay that he went to the other side of the street. And I didn't understand exactly because some person in Maryland called and said that their barn was broken into and there was glass there. But it didn't make sense because whenever she was telling about how, they slept out underneath, the area, he asked her to clean out the car then. But she thought of running, but she didn't, and she was on like a gravel path, they said. So I don't know how she got it in the field, but if it was in the field, it wasn't in the barn, like the caller had said. That was weird. And then there was a pond on the property, and they said that they searched the Susquehanna River. And I was just like, what? I didn't quite understand it, but anyhow, they eventually got him, and that was that. So... And I also didn't understand with the Anchorage one how he then went to Texas and Arizona, because I know obviously the trip he lied to his son, right? But yeah, it was just really strange. And then obviously having two different cars was also really, really scary to be known, right? That's yeah. So anyhow, guys, here is this then, and then I'll go ahead and get reading, but it's definitely been a good night here, so, because I know these chapters can sometimes be long, and let me just kind of look. Oh my gosh. Whew! What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think it's like 9 or 10 pages, so let's get into it, guys. In the morning, he's gone. The only reminders are his scent lingering in the bleachy smell of the hotel sheets and the number I copied into my phone. I tried to tell myself that Sean never noticed me looking, that he was asleep throughout, but something tells me otherwise. He doesn't call once, and I can't bring myself to call him. I don't leave the room much at all, or the bed, except for a trip to the drugstore to get my last refill of sleeping pills, and I burned through the whole thing. A month's supply gone in 1 week. The moment it wears off, I pop another one and drift back into the gray. It's reliable stuff. You don't feel rested, more like you're waking up from a coma, but it at least means you can go right back to sleep, and at least the coma is dreamless. I know I need to get out of this room. I need to go back to my apartment. I need a new job, or at least to beg Dom to give me my old one. I might need to suck his for that. Another girl told me he has 3 piercings. I wonder how much oxy I need to get through that. Oh my gosh. Alrighty, guys. For now, it's probably better that I haven't touched the stuff in the last week. I have my checkup and shrink appointment on Monday, and I can't afford to fail. My pee in a cup test right now, I can't. Although being locked up in a place with padded walls doesn't sound so bad anymore. The morning of, I can't even pop an Adderall and have to content myself with awful coffee from the hotel room's drip coffee maker to power me through the day. I think of getting an energy drink from the vending machine downstairs, but I have to manage my money. How pathetic is that? I guzzle my coffee, try not to taste it, hoping it'll keep me on my feet through the test and an hour-long talk with Dr. Rowland. By the time I get in my car and drive, it's becoming doubtful. The hospital is a squat building that almost disappears in a flat gray landscape, especially on a rainy day like today, or 300 Seattle days a year, really. If I don't pay attention, I could easily miss my lone exit in the middle of nowhere and end up in a deserted industrial district. From the outside, the building looks like there are no windows, but they are all just facing inward into a courtyard as gray as everything else. They keep sticking potted trees around the perimeter, but the trees keep dying, not enough light, or too many negative vibes or something. The lower floor windows still have bars on them, even though the whole courtyard thing is designed so that we can see daylight but not escape. I walk to the second floor where a grim-looking nurse sees my plastic container and points to the bathroom. She follows me with a gaze that could burn a hole in my back, but she does that with everyone. She used to watch me pee. I leave it to an addict to try and smuggle in someone else's urine in a flask, but now they don't bother anymore. I wish I could say it never crossed my mind, but something deep inside me withers at an idea of disappointing Dr. Rowland. Maybe it's a leftover childhood instinct, since she's the closest to my mother figure I've ever had. Whether I admit it or not, a part of me looks forward to seeing Dr. Rowland. So I just keep clean the week ahead. I can manage this much for now. It's this part of bi-monthly ritual that I hate. The scuffed bathroom stall reeking of sanitizer and piss, the humiliation of filling out health questionnaires with questions about whether I used intravenous drugs or had unprotected sex in the last X weeks. The nurse's porcelain, there we go, little eyes watching me from under her low brow bone with that look that plainly says, "Don't complain, you did this to yourself." I want to blow up in her face sometimes, throw the freaking cup into the clipboard with all the questions, tell her that I didn't do this to myself. I wasn't the one who stole me, who broke me. She probably doesn't know or give a fuck. I walk up to the third floor here. There are big red signs reading no alcohol or illicit substances beyond this point. No methadone pickup schedules. There are prints of paintings on the wall. Potted plants wilting yellow around the edges, but still. I knock on the office door and go in. Dr. Rowland gets up and greets me and shakes my hand without squeamishness, as if she's not afraid I'll give her some deadly junkie whore disease just by looking at her. She gestures in the armchair across the desk that creaks when I lower myself into it. Dr. Elise Rowland is a small, plump woman with light brown skin and a mass of curls pulled into an eternal bun atop her head. She wears a white coat over her normal clothes, and this place requires, but she has a thing for brooches. There's always a new one, some kind of jeweled instinct. Big ruby spider butterfly in all colors of the rainbow. Lady, bug, bee. Today is a deviation, a tiny blue bird stud with rhinestones. Lainey, she says as she takes her place and opens my file where the results of my test are printed up. I carefully watch her expression from a frown or a switch or a twitch or something. Hang on, guys. You know, this is just... my hands are sliding around too much on that. Jeez. Alright, where was I? That I might give the results or not what she hoped for. But her face is unreadable. She looks up, closes the folder. How are you doing? Okay. I'm always doing okay. Usually it's a lie, and she usually lets me get away with it. But today, she heaves a sigh, and I know it's not going to be easy. You know, I only been doing this to try to help you, she says the whole time. I hoped you might trust me a little bit by now. I sit up in alarm, try to figure out what she could possibly know and how. Shit, how long does it take for Adderall to leave your system? I know what's been going on, Lainey. There's no threat in her voice, no judgment, nothing that alarms me above all. My inner child, what's left of her, anxiously looks for notes of disappointment, but I don't even find that. Mercifully, she cuts to the chase. I got a call from Detective Ortiz, she says. My insides clench at the very mention of the name, and I'm afraid it couldn't hide my reaction fast enough. But lucky for me, she misinterprets it. I know you were involved in the Olivia Shaw case. The air goes out of my lungs in a whoosh of relief. I was, I say carefully, not to let my mask of indifference slip, but I was cleared as a suspect, I mean. Her penetrating gaze won't let go of mine. And what do you make of all of this? What am I supposed to make of all of this? Did it make you feel worse? What do you think? Did it make you not want to do certain things? It should all be in my test. She ignores my remark. I want to know how you felt about it, not what you did about it. I give a shrug. You were totally indifferent. It has nothing to do with me. She's someone else's now. Dr. Elise is one of the few people I feel bad lying to, but the other option is unthinkable right now. But what happened to her? It bears a certain similarity of what happened to you, she says softly. You can't ignore that completely. We don't know what happened to her, I say. No one does. Some people think she ran away. What do you think? I have no idea. Did it bring back any flashbacks? Bad dreams? I shrug. The Ambien is working. I need a new prescription, by the way. I ran out. I think I need more pills. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and can't go back to sleep, so I need to take a second one. I blurt it all out without pausing for a breath. Well, we'll deal with that in a moment. When Detective Ortiz called me, he asked for all your information, but I refused, of course, for the sake of patient confidentiality. They don't have a warrant or any real reason to suspect you. Gratitude fills my chest, scorching hot and tinged with guilt from all the deceptions, all the lies, big and small, I've told her over the years, all the fibs she let slide, for all her efforts that bore no fruit. Thank you, I say hoarsely. They didn't have any reason to suspect me. I didn't even know she was the same girl until Detective Ortiz told me. Blood rushes to my face, but if she noticed anything, she lets it go. So you don't care about her, Olivia Shaw? Not at all? Not at all? The lie is so easy. Oh, my bad. Okay, that was Lainey responding not at all after not at all. Did I ever get tired? She waits patiently. I stare her down. Go on, I explode. Ask me if I had considered this might be the same man. Yes, I freaking have, okay? But it wasn't my job to find him. Maybe you should address your complaints with this to the Seattle Police Department, who have better things to do. I expect her to chastise me in that way, that way she has. Reproachful without judging. There we go. But she keeps looking me straight in the eye. I know it was an awful injustice. All of the efforts should have been directed at finding that man, stopping him. But because of factors we're both aware of, it didn't happen. I tried to help. I muttered through my teeth. My eyes burn. I need my pills badly. I tried to. I repeated my testimony, but I'd already told them everything I knew for the first time, and it didn't change anything. She waits while I collect myself. I don't reach out for the pastel box of tissues on her table. I refuse to be that cliché. Instead, I smear the tears all over my cheeks with the back of my hand. I want to remember, I say. I want to remember. Can't you help me? Hypnotize me or something? She tilts her head back, with a look of sympathy. It's not a question of repressing, I'm afraid. You remember everything vividly, but it's just not enough, I finish for her. Isn't there anything you can do? I tried hypnosis already, she says sadly. It didn't yield anything new. You presented a fairly typical profile. Sorry, I didn't mean to belittle what you went through. I mutter that it's okay. Wasn't there anything? She heaves a sigh. Besides your surprisingly Vehement, I don't know what that word is, feelings of loathing toward your pregnancy. No. Surprisingly, I gulp. Is it really so surprising? My other young women have found themselves in your situation before. They regarded the child as their one bright spot. Some called it their salvation. I grit my teeth. I start to notice I'm doing it on purpose. You don't think you'd make a good mother? Why do you ask me that? I thought you were supposed to help, so no. I could never bring myself to tell her the truth. I just never knew. They didn't give me a chance to find out. They took her away, and I didn't even let me look at her. I think I might have loved her, might even have forgiven her, if only they'd let me take just one look. But I was lost to anesthesia far under. They came in like thieves and left before I woke up. But by then, it was too late to object and too painful to question. And no one in their right mind could argue the fact that it was best for her. The nameless little girl, especially not me. All I could do was try to mute it, forget it, put it out of my mind the only way I knew how. Obviously, I snarl. Next question, please. What do you think that is? I have no answer, no truthful one anyway. What I think is that it stems from your experience of your own mother before and after the kidnapping. My mother? My mother who brought me to the dollar store, who bought me dollar store toys on good days, and who pawned the electronics on my bad days. The mother whom I saw at the hospital once I was found because she got her ass imprisoned for yet another drug offense. Surprise, surprise. I think of our last encounter, and in spite of myself, the corner of my mouth curls. My mother was stupid, junky trash. I snap. Like mother, like daughter, rings a sarcastic echo in my head. What do you remember of her from before? What I just told you. Dr. Elise shakes her head. That also struck me. A child, any child, and you were still a child back then. Lainey, no matter what you or anyone else says, you will always call for her mother. Always, no matter what, no matter how awful the mother might be. I want to tell you that the child in me died in screaming agony on the basement floor. But something about her words compels me to listen without interrupting. And you never called for her, not once, not in your sleep, not when you were alone. You never so much as ask about her, like you've never had a mother at all. That was pretty close to the truth, and Dr. Elise knows it too. I'm not a monster, I say, holding her gaze. Just because my mother was, just because I have no maternal feelings towards my rapist child. I never said you were a monster. You think I'm abnormal. You just said so. We all deal with trauma in our own way. The mind is a smart thing. It does all it can to make sure all of the bad things are locked away when they can't hurt us so we can go on functioning. If you think this is me compartmentalizing, I can never say that word right. Anger locks my throat. I squeeze my hands into fist. That's not what I said. I glower at her, but she weathers my hate-filled glare like it's stoic. There we go. Deep down, I feel bad about all the shitty, mean things I've ever said to her, about every time I blew up at her when she was trying to help me. Even now, I feel awful inside, but I can't help it. I think our time is up soon. I can prolong the appointment if you need to talk more, she says neutrally. I pretend I haven't heard. How about that Ambien? Maybe we can lower the dose. You should be trying to sleep naturally. I don't want to sleep naturally. And in loath to prescribe more sleeping pills to someone with your history, her voice is steel. But you could try natural supplements. I can write you a prescription for melatonin. I push my chair back, leap up. We're done. Lainey, I see you in 2 months. I say with a serene smile. I know she has the power to have me locked up again, but I see it on her face that she won't, because she believes me, believes I can get through this and live a normal life to be a functioning member of society. Stupid of her. I storm out without saying goodbye. Alright guys, so there is that chapter. That was quite literally a tongue twister at certain parts, you guys could see. Sometimes they have, like what Lainey says, what the doctor says, what Lainey says, and the doctor. But this time they just had it all pretty much in the same lines. And then a lot of those parentheses whenever the full word can't finish, like the end of a page, so it has to go down to the next line. There was just a lot of that in there, but you guys officially read it and heard it. Hopefully rather well. I think I did a rather good job at it. So, anyhow guys, I'll go ahead here and get my snack. And then I also did notice that Last night I didn't put I didn't film myself, sleeping and in my sleeping outfit for some unknown reason. So I'll go ahead and do that with you guys tonight as well and show you guys, because I only showed you guys night 1 and, well, obviously night 3 now tonight. So yes, but I'll go ahead here and get going. And then don't forget, guys, I also have to start. I do have my hair up in bobby pins, but I also have to start doing my braids, which is my next hairstyles that I don't do that often, and I need to start getting back in the groove of doing those more often. So yes, I know it'll come back to me like nothing. Hey everyone, your girl Liz here. So here I am now. I'm officially ready to roll. You guys can see my winter tires are still doing really, really well. I did come along with my foot and just kick some of this stuff aside. I thought I was going to get stuck there, but then I just realized that this is just where the drift goes. And it's a little bit, deep, I guess you could say. And I just didn't like it, and I want it back far enough off the road, because you guys can see this strip here, so if somebody comes along, flying, they could very easily, so anyhow. Hey guys, the wind has since stopped, but I wanted to show you guys what I do. I really like this coat for this reason. So you just bring it up. We actually have to unzipper this just a tad, so you can, whenever you bring it up, you can just see, and you can even find that sweet spot where you don't get your glasses all fogged up. So there you go, guys. Let's see how good I am at filming with mittens on. But anyhow, guys, here's this road that takes you back to, that place that I was talking about. I'm curious to kind of see how it looks from the backside, and you guys can also see based upon my tire marks right here. Obviously I reversed out, but yeah, I'm very excited and very happy with my tires and the way they've been able to, keep it really, really good this summer. And obviously a 50% Lush Life summer helped with that. Is in, the greater part of it is in winter. I'm sorry, my boss just texted me. Let me see what that's about. There we go. Sorry guys, it's a little hard hitting it with the buttons, but holy cow guys, look at that. That's beautiful down in there. Very beautiful. So we'll go ahead here and get on up here. He just told me that he made a mistake, and I actually work Sunday this week, so I know I was really confused. I saw 1 day a week, and I was like, well, he gave me 1 day a week before Thanksgiving, and obviously I know I work, Christmas, which is time and a half, and the company is a little bit lower on labor right now because of the the income and sales, and that's actually true, right? Unlike the sew job. So yes, I'm very excited that he added that in, and it's gonna be good guys. And then later on today as well, my grandma and I love this is so pretty. My grandma and I are going to Walmart, so I'll have to hurry up when I get home and find collages. And I know you guys saw that I used a picture from February this year yesterday in my thumbnail. I'll probably just do that today, or I'm sorry, for the collage and the craft in general. So that'll be really, really, really fun. So just do that for the whole craft and collage in general. And even I was even expecting to do that anyhow. You know, like just do a week difference and just do a year difference. And you can include the same year, if you think about it, and different years that even are 50%, because still, guys, what matters is now, all the time. So yeah, living that carefree lifestyle. So yeah, that'll be really, really fun to do that. So we're almost up here, guys, so I'll stop taking up too much time. No, I'm only at 2 minutes. So we'll keep walking on up in here. I might speed this part up. Yeah, I'll speed this part up a little bit right now. Alright, guys, never mind for that speed up. Somebody else is here too. So I'll walk in here just a little bit, honestly, and I'll just see which way he went, honestly, too. I mean, I can always just go around the back side. He probably could be in there too. I don't see any tracks leading there. Actually, I don't see hardly any tracks, no. You can see down the back side of his truck, which means he has not come this way. So this is the way I'll go and see if there's a back entrance. I didn't bring, you guys can see, first one's back here. Maybe not. No. Looks like a snowmobile may have came through here. Yeah. Nothing very, very fresh. So those fresh tracks go back that way, which is where that hunter is. And I definitely have to stay out of their way, right? Because it is officially, you know, only 3 days left? Didn't it say like December 13th, I think, was the final day? So yeah, it's definitely getting low. Looks like some deer activity there. So yeah, just stay out of their way, you know, in the final 3 days. Same with calling me on the phone 3 different times, right? 3 times, basically back to back, guys, when I'm running. Stay the heck off my phone, right? Jeez. Now these look like smaller tracks here. They look like they're probably fox. No, too small for fox. Probably a coyote. You can tell by how close they are together. And obviously the feet are pretty much the same all the time. For, you know, even if they grow in length, you gotta remember, I think foxes and coyotes and stuff like that are measured from the tip of their nose to the end of their tail. So, you know, they can easily, yeah guys, look, it doesn't look like anyone's here. Hang on, let me finish that thought. They can easily, oh, I was like, whoa, what was that? They can easily, you know, still have the same foots front to back, but not be, you know, holy cow. They were in here a lot, guys. These are pretty much dead tracks everywhere. Alright, so guys. That's exactly what I said. You know? How many times, you know, do you, or how comes that bird, right, never flew off? Yeah, guys, it doesn't look like there's a side entrance into this back area, but I'm just gonna walk back in here. This gets me ready as well for the, yeah. What the heck? Probably the wind blowing on that thing that is so cold, whatever it is. Yeah, guys. There's not a back entrance, which is weird. If I brought my flashlight, we would go in. Yeah, they definitely did a whole bunch of much more graffiti. Off you to me, and then I think they put up that thing in front too. Yeah, guys, what is? I bet you something's banging off that pole back there. Enter if you support Trump and spray tans. Okay, yikes. Yeah, so, oh my god, guys, look, the door is completely sealed shut too. Look at that. How many inches is that? Oh my god. You can tell absolutely nobody's been in here. But I don't have my light, so I can't go in. Maybe tomorrow, guys, if I, you know, come back through here and there hasn't still been any tracks, definitely for a Freaky Friday flashback. Today will just be time to test Thursday, my bad. And then also, guys, I did want to share my second "What Would You Do?" has happened today, which was kind of crazy because I had 2 "What Would You Do's" last year too. So there was a backpack in the store in aisle 6. Nobody was around it, and it had a QR code kind of just dangling there. It was there the entire time, and I told my cashier, you know, and the woman interrupted. Well, not really interrupted, but I chose to not engage with her. She had said that, you know, oh, well, I mean, what's in it, you know, in this day and age? And I continued talking, you know, which is an appropriate kind of like nonverbal, right? Like, I'm the one making this claim. I'm the one reporting it right now. So just give me my space to report it. And she, and I didn't add on, you know, any rude thing. It's like, yeah, since that woman likes to interrupt, you know, and I had even shared my own, you know, like my bio being super myself. And I had shared that, you know, there's kind of like more going for, you know, it's just a mistake or somebody just left it there, something like that, you know. So it's like, yeah, there's more going for it. And again, I didn't add on that woman. Well, yeah, since this woman over here likes to interrupt and go from 0 to 100% negative, you know. So that was kind of cool, to be able to continue, you know. And then if she did interrupt me and say, well, why, are you trying to say that I'm negative or something? Because, again, I just continued, right? And in my continuance, I was indirectly saying, which nonverbal is verbal, I was saying, you know, hey, right, like, I'm the one reporting this, let it be my report, right, kind of thing. So that was really, really cool, honestly. And that's an instance where you let it go, and, you know, let it, if they get offended by that, well, they can also just be offended. So I'll play my handy dandy voice recording from my smartwatch, because I knew that obviously I was gonna tell him and want it on recording. So to show you guys, because that's my second what would you do this year. So anyhow, guys, I'll probably go ahead here and get going. You know, it backs out to be about 5 minutes. We've seen before with just the multiple times that I've went with my gram doing things. So yeah, so depending on what my time is, I'll just probably just leave it in there, because I'm taking up more time with trying to figure out what my video times have been so far. Hey everyone, your girl is here. So here I am now, back officially where I started last time I was here. Just literally a week with the recording. I should be right around an hour for today, and then, you know, I'll have the full trip, you know, walking back to that place with my light and seeing what's going on right in that final room, which gets me ready for you know, some abandoned stuff that I'm going to be doing this year. Next year, super lush life, guys. So we'll go in here and do like a replica photo. That'll be a nice you know, additional like winter time. And I've done really well, you know, with having a pretty good winter collage every single time, every single, you know, vlog. And I didn't obviously still come up with an intro for Vlogmas, but that's okay. I can do that at another time with you guys. And then, because again, it's only 50% lush life. So it's okay for your first ever Vlogmas during a 50% lush life to not have, you know, a great extravagant, you know, welcome, right? But from here on out, though, you know, even if, so in 2027, Vlogmas will have, you know, which, holy cow, guys, that's a long ways away, 2 years. But anyhow, that will have its own intro. So this is the only year where I, you know, take it easier during Vlogmas. So should I walk back in there? You know, something tells me to walk back in there, guys. I'm trying to find where I was last time, where I walked through. It's so hard to see that. No, I think, no, those are deer tracks. Well, I know right here behind that tree. So we'll do a duplicate replica photo. Then that'll pretty much conclude today's video. Alright, so let's head on in here. I still think the guys that it's crazy that it's still like this, but not really though, if you think about it. You know, we had more snow, and yep, you can see my tracks from last time. Hang on, pull the hat down. Hey guys, there's just something about this hat that it just doesn't do it for me. I don't know what it is. There we go. It's definitely, again, no volume. And, you know, that also goes off what I had shared. It's like, I don't know, maybe you're like a one-way thinker, right? And, you know, you fail to realize that a lot of women do kind of have more masculine looks, right, when there's not much volume up top, which kind of goes off that, it's mean to women to say I'm not beautiful, so I'll shave my whole head, because some women can't grow hair, so it's like I won't get a guy if I shave my head, Well, yeah, there's a lot of women who would love to grow hair, but they can't. So that's quite selfish towards them, while you're being more selfish towards yourself then too. And then you're even more selfish towards yourself, because then when they point that out, you know, you figure that out too. But anyhow, guys, we'll keep walking on in here. Let me see here. Oh wow, look at that. Whoa, it ran a deer. Going tinkle tinkle. Huh, tink tink. Tink tink, guys, tink tink. You know, I like this. Alright, guys, now, ooh, look at this. Oh, guys, look at that. For real. Alright, now, let's play this very, very carefully, Alyssa. Before I just head on right down into that ravine. The danger zone, guys. Danger, right? Especially after what happened, you know, in February this year. So, Alright, guys, maybe we won't go down in that one. Yeah, but that's really, really cool. Let me see. There's a way around this way. This is already 6 minutes again, guys. Holy cow. Guys, that would be such good photos. And it looks like things are burrowing under there. See, it's not ice, but it is, you know, slippy snow. Alright, guys, I made it down really, really quickly and safely, too. So, that's a positive. Let me go ahead and take these two off, and then let me take this hat off again, and then let me position myself just right, and this can be another thumbnail. Wait, hang on. There we go. There we go, guys. So that'll be good for a, one glove already fell out. So we'll kind of walk in here just a real little bit with you guys. Just kind of see what's going on. Holy cow, guys. This is like wind, you know, wind breaking, you know, kind of like pine tree patch here, guys. Guys, look at that. Oh my god. Wait, no, let's do this way. Oh my god, yes, guys, right there. Okay. Put up my... Alright, guys, there we go. One more 5 seconds. There we go. So I got my picture there going down in the ravine. So it's definitely a very, very, very good day, guys. And get going just so I can keep it an hour.
Let me tell you.
There's an empty backpack down aisle 6 if you want to get it for a walk. like a QR code on the clip too, so borderline, you know, weird. Like, why would you? It's almost like you're wanting somebody to scam. A little weird, but it could just honestly be, yeah, more going for the just a mistake, right? Probably not anything to be worried about, but it's still just, you know, you don't want anybody curious to take it. Do anything wrong with it. So, you want me to let them know? Okay. Hey everyone, your girl is here. So it is now like I think 3 o'clock, about 2:58. Yes. So my grandma and I, she actually took a different appointment tomorrow. So we're gonna go after her appointment tomorrow. I did honestly just realize some crazy stuff. So in that lookout photo that I have, it's crazy to think of how a mile can look when you're up so high. So that lookout on the right hand side, if you look very closely, you can see a opening in like a valley, the valley down there, and that is where I was standing in the photo to the left. I think that's crazy, guys, because that's only like a mile. Um, anyhow, so that's wild. Just noticing that. And then I did, since it's all night, all summer, um, you're going to dance your heart out to the dawn, but you won't be done when morning comes. It means that nothing can get in your way. So I do have different joy pictures, with like the diamond, right, effect. So I have those planned out. That'll probably be for all night, all summer. So any season, I'll probably put it in though with like summer or spring. And then I have the American flag in my yard, and then the American flag at the Buttermilk Falls, which will be obviously a summertime one. And you can see a little bit of green vegetation on top of the rocks, which is good for like the green vegetation in the background. Um, and then I can probably just cut off my dash and everything for those fall time ones. And then just have those kind of be like the two like smaller ones for the fall time. Um, yeah, because I'll double check. I'm pretty sure, what was it, 4? No, I think it was actually 8. I can fit 8 4x6s. So then I'll just have some cut off ones for smaller ones, which I can do. So yeah, it'll definitely be very, very fun, to be able to do maybe like a craft Saturday. That'll be nice to have like a weekend, reset with doing crafts. So I'll do my craft with you guys for my bed, and then I'll do my craft with the photos. So it'll be really, really fun weekend here coming up, guys. But obviously tomorrow, we'll go ahead and try to get back up to that other place. I know my grandma's appointment is like 10:30, so might be some other stuff, but I just wanted to come on and make that and share that I had just got all those kind of situated. Um, a couple other like cutout photos, I'll just have to cut them out myself because again, you can't print a cutout at Walmart from at least what I could saw. I'll check again. But I'm gonna have like looking up at the eclipse. Definitely all those eclipse reminders. Sadly, I deleted the one from whenever I came back from Florida, so I'm gonna have to try to find that as well. And then speaking of the screenshot as well, with the full circle rainbow in the first one of 2024 last year in March, right before the eclipse, that also reminded me that I have to do those fish braids down the back. So I haven't even tried that since 2020, but I got pretty well, and I'm pretty sure I actually included the photos in this. I'm pretty sure. I'll go back through and look, guys, and then I'll post it if I did. But I'm pretty sure that I had gotten really well, and did really well, honestly. So I'll go ahead here and get going. I think it's like just really close to an hour now, which will be nice. But yeah, I just wanted to share that's what all of those photos are. I was just kind of working through my way of like, well, let's do like a fall one. Okay, what about winter now? And then what about like a roaring river, right? Like unstoppable, right? So carefree kind of stuff. And that's what rivers do, right? When a river breaks like that, it's carefree. It's just doing its thing, right? It doesn't care what's in its way. It's not going to stop and say, okay, well, we'll let you get out of the way, right? No. That's why people send warnings when there's going to be a thunderstorm and you're out in the middle of the ocean, right? Yeah. And they say, come on, let's get to shore. Because what was it? Like 2 people died this year from being struck by lightning. 1 person in Florida, 1 person in South Carolina, because lightning struck the water and all the electricity went through them then. So yeah, so it's like, yeah, that's also another great way for just a super lush life correlation and relate it all back to super lush life. So it's definitely going to be a very good set of days coming up here, guys. And then I didn't share yesterday, I can remove my plug for my mattress heater on my other side where I sleep, and then I can just use those for lights and dangle the lights around and be able to connect it to a power source there, and then directly over here where my phone charger is. So I'll be able to discreetly, so you guys aren't like, you don't want all that stuff in the background and just messing with your photo shoots. You want people to focus on the lights and decorations, right, and your poses, right, and all of that. So yeah, so it'll be cool to be able to get those lights situated. So yeah, guys, I just have a lot of really good stuff coming up here to end this 50% lush life summer. And then next year, guys. I live my day as if it was the last. Live my day as if there was no past. Doing it all night, all summer.